Good afternoon, students. In our previous session, we discussed topics: what is education, what is sociology. These are two different concepts, and we discussed that in our previous session. In today's session, we will discuss in a detailed manner relationship between education and sociology. So, once again, I will repeat some points to recall you. First of all, meaning of sociology. So, sociology can be defined as the study of man and his environment in which he or she lives, their relation with each other. In 1837, French philosopher Auguste Comte first coined the term sociology. By sociology, he meant application of scientific method in the study of the relationship between the society and the individual. It studies plural behavior. What is meant by plural behavior? Plural behavior means that behavior of individuals which is performed in relation to other individuals. So it studies plural behavior, or we can say it is the scientific study of the processes of interactions of persons. Scientific study of the processes of interactions of persons. Next, in brief, we will see what is education. As I told you earlier, what is education? It is just a process of acquiring knowledge, training, and skills, or process of learning, process of developing skills, acquiring knowledge. Okay. So in today's session, we are going to discuss relationship between sociology and education. Sociology and education are two branches of knowledge concerned essentially with man and his life. The relationship between sociology and education has always been a subject of debate. Both mutually both are mutually interrelated with each other and interdependent disciplines. They are dependent on each other. So interdependency is there, mutually related or interrelated with each other. No education cannot take place in vacuum, and society cannot run without educated people, without trained people. So both are related, both are interdependent. They depend on each other to fulfill its aims, to fulfill oneself. So they depend on each other. They are so closely intertwined and interconnected that their matter and method of study are often overlapped to a great extent. All societies have their own ways and means of meeting this need. Education as a process is an effective means of meeting such needs. It does not only transmit the cultural heritage, it serves other purposes as well. It is meant to help in the reconstruction of our modes of living. Once again, it is meant to help in the reconstruction of our modes of living. Reconstruction, to construct again, to modify, to reconstruct of our modes of living. It may help in developing new social patterns in the areas of health, vocation, leisure, and family life. Reconstruction and adaptation are necessary, but of scientific developments, industrialization, and technological advancements, which are disturbing the urban as well as rural pattern of living. With these theoretical things, we need to sum it up or we need to understand through some points which I am going to discuss with you. Education and sociology. We are looking at it in a new perspective. Education and sociology are issues or are matters used to classify and establish the interrelatedness between education and society. First thing, the terms educational sociology and sociology of education are used in the discipline as approaches to the extremes. Educational sociology and sociological of education. There is a difference between these terms, and in our next session we will discuss this. Educational sociology and sociology, we will discuss this in detail. The usage of the two terms rests on the preference of the expert. Sociology of education is commonly in use. So, we need to understand the following points to get clarity about the relationship between these two branches of, between two different disciplines. Sociology is the science of society, and education in an implicit aspect of any social system. It is the science of society. Sociology is the science of society. And education is an implicit aspect of any social system. So, without it, no education or no such process can take place in a society. So, education is must to develop or to have a progressive society. Sociology studies the structure and functions of social system. While education is one of the important functions of any social system, the prime concern of sociology is socialized individuals. Education is the means for achieving the goals of sociology. Once again, sociology studies the structure and functions of social system. Structure, what is the structure and what are the functions of social system. While education is one of the important functions of any social system, the prime concern of sociology is socialized individuals. Education is the means for achieving the goals of society or sociology. So through education we achieve the goals of sociology because we learn everything through education. Some things are developed or trained, and there are things that are natural tendencies that we develop on our own. But most of the things that we gain, that we know, or that we are trained, it is through education. Most of the habits that we acquire, most of the skills that we acquire are developed with the help of education. Most of the behavior, yeah, or modification in behavior, it is only through education. When we socialize with each other, it is also through education. We learn to talk, we learn to socialize, we learn to behave in a social group, we learn to behave with others, we learn to react in situations. That is through education. We are taught things. While education is one of the important functions of any social system, the prime concern of sociology is socialized individuals. Education is the means for achieving goals of sociology. Education is the laboratory and workshop of sociology. We can say it is the laboratory and workshop of sociology, where things are taught, where we gain experience, hands on experience, where we learn things, where we develop skills, where we acquire things. So, it is the laboratory where experiments are done, where different type of things are conducted, and workshop of sociology, where we gain experience, we acquire habits, we acquire skills. Sociology attempts to ascertain the functions performed by the educational system, while education adopts the principles of sociology to improve its functioning. In the modern society, sociology generates the database which is consumed by educational system to realize the goal of social life. Sociology develops the law and principles which are adopted by the educational system for its improvement. Like any education which is taking place or anything which is going on in educational system, it is reflected or somewhere it is affected by social processes. Like if we are using technology because it is in trend, it is recent trend. If we are looking at things in a scientific manner, if we are questioning things, that is also because we have progressed and we want to know how this thing happened, how this goes. So everything is answered or everything is affected by social processes. Even education is affected by social aspects and such social aspects. So sociology attempts to ascertain the functions performed by the educational system, while education adopts the principles of sociology to improve its functioning. In the modern society, sociology generates the database which is consumed by educational system to realize the goal of social life. Sociology develops the law and principles which are adopted by educational system for its improvement. Education preserves the social and cultural heritage which is owned by sociology. Society is the prime factor in determining the educational patterns so that its socio-cultural needs may be satisfied and continues to grow. Durkheim, who clearly indicates the need for a sociological approach to study of education. He considered education to be something essentially social in character. Definitely, it is social in character in its origins because any type of education, all education starts in society, or and these processes start or begin with the with birth of an individual. So in its origin, in its function, that as a result of theory of education relates more clearly to sociology than any other science. So first point which we are going to cover is educational sociology and curriculum. According to educational sociology, curriculum is organized so that it may help in achievement of social aims. Curriculum is organized in such a way that it is helpful in achieving social aims of a society prescribed by a society, because social progress of the society and even the nation depends upon the curriculum prescribed in the schools and colleges. Due to the reason, the sociologists consider it is essential to organize the curriculum carefully and properly that can meet social aims and aspirations of a society. Education is not to be confined to the study of a few subjects alone. It is to be presented any epitomized study of the diversified social life. There are some sociological principles which are kept in view when curriculum construction is the process. Let's discuss two or three points. Curriculum should be such that it helps in achievement of the social aims of education. It should be chosen on the basis of problems and needs of the study. Definitely, we cannot study things of the past. What are the current trends? What are the current needs? What are the aspirations? So it should be aligned with that. We need to study problems and needs of society. What we want, what is expected from individuals, what is expected from a child. So, what are our society's aspirations, nation's aspirations? So, on the basis of problems and needs of society, curriculum should be framed. But it should also pay attention to some real problems and interest of the pupils. It should be organized and its relationship with instructional methods should be such that curriculums becomes effective to keep a control over society. Once again, it should be organized in such a way that its relationship with instructional methods should be such that the curriculum becomes effective medium to keep a control over society. Through curriculum, the cultural values should be brought to light. Cultural values should be brought to light. What were our cultural values? So that it can be transmitted from one generation to another generation. It is through with the help of education. Through curriculum, the cultural values should be brought to light, and through it, the high ideals of the society should be transmitted to the new generation. Definitely, it is only through education that values, cultural aspects are transmitted to the new generation with the help of education. The curriculum should be such that it develops an attitude of respect to all vocations. It should develop a sense of dignity of labor among students. So, curriculum should be framed very carefully and systematically. Everything should be kept in mind while framing curriculum. These points are very important and it should be kept in mind while you are preparing curriculum for any stage, be it for elementary stage, be it for primary stage or secondary stage. It should be prepared very carefully. The curriculum should be such that it develops an attitude of respect to all vocations. It should develop a sense of dignity of labor among students. Students should have a sense of dignity in any work of labor. They should know the importance and dignity of labor, of work, be it anything. They should know if they are cleaning their classroom, they should feel so that it's my duty. As a student of this class, it's my duty. It is not the duty of a sweeper to clean this class. As a student, it is my duty as well. So, dignity, they should develop a sense of curriculum. It should be framed in such a way that it develops a sense of pride, a sense of dignity of labor among students. The stress should be on a futuristic social change rather than bringing immediate change in individuals' behavior. So, stress should be on a futuristic social change rather than bringing immediate, because immediate change is not possible, or if it is possible, then it is not permanent in nature, it is temporary. So, to bring such changes, futuristic change, we cannot bring immediate change in individuals' behavior. So, stress should be on futuristic social change. The curriculum should be dynamic, flexible, and changing in nature. Flexible, not rigid. It should be dynamic and changing in nature, not static, not constant, not rigid. So it should be dynamic, flexible, and changing in nature according to needs of society, according to the needs of our nation. What are what are the aspirations? What are the needs? So it should be framed according to that. So it should be dynamic, flexible, and changing in nature, which can fulfill the aims and objectives of society and nation. The curriculum should be able to develop a problem solving attitude among the students. They should understand and solve the problems independently. It should develop such capacities among students that they are able to solve their problems independently. So it should develop critical thinking skills, solving abilities among students, problem solving attitude. They should not feel put up. What's that? They should be intelligent enough. They should be uh, smart enough to deal with such problems intelligently, effectively, efficiently. So it should be framed in such a way. Curriculum should be so organized. The curriculum should be dynamic, flexible, and changing in nature. The curriculum should able to develop a problem solving attitude among the students. There should be provision of social programs for participation in social life.